Hi there, it's Wendy from Ask the Landlady, and I'm here with all the tips and tricks to help you make a profit in real estate rentals. And I've been doing a couple videos here about paperwork, about doing your lease and application packets. And so a question came up from someone is, what actually should go on my application for an apartment rental? What should be on that application that I'm giving somebody? I don't even know. Name, address, what do I put on there? So I wanted to kind of just lay out what I have. You can certainly go to my website, askthelandlady.com, and I sell mine there, and you can take it and it's a Word document, so you can put your own name and your own information and any state relevant stuff you might need if you want to do it that way. But I'm going to go ahead and give you all the information now so you can just do it yourselves. First thing I have on there is a cover letter where I specifically state the criteria we are looking for in a relationship with a tenant, what we are expecting and what our criteria is. I want to make very clear that, a lot of times people think, I was here first, I get it first come, first serve. No, first come, first serve does not work with apartment rentals, right? I am looking for the best qualified person for that unit. I'm setting up myself and that person for success. Never gonna put somebody in a unit that I don't think can handle it, that don't have the income criteria, that have too many people for the unit, that I know this is not gonna be a good fit. Again, we're looking for the best possible candidate out of our pool of candidates. So it is not first come, first served. It is best qualified. And we will actually put in that cover letter what we're looking for in terms of meeting that criteria. So you want to have a clear outline that you follow the fair housing guidelines and that you're looking for a certain income ratio and that it's a 2-bedroom apartment, the maximum family size, those types of issues that you can actually screen for when you're going for that unit. Maybe specific stuff about no evictions, no sex offenders, no criminal activity in the last 10 years, whatever criteria that you are going to use, and then do that obviously across the board in a fair way. So in addition to that, here's the kind of things that's the cover letter. Turn the page. Then the next thing, of course, name, current address, employment information. We definitely want to know where they're employed. We want to know who they're working for, what their wages are, and we will ask for several months worth of pay stubs. Make sure you didn't just get that job last week and then you're going to quit and then we're going to be stuck. So we want to make sure that you have a job that is continuing on an ongoing basis, that's going to provide the wages to be able to live in this unit. So number one, employment information, very important. Number two, automobile information. That's obviously very important because, especially in your multifamily units, if somebody parks somewhere, they block the dumpster, we can look it up. Oh, that's so-and-so's car. You can call them up, save them a tow. It's a good idea to know that automobile. I do know some savvy landladies that when they're showing apartments, just glance over at that car and take a look inside. If that car is like hoarder city, trashed up, that's just another reason to be like, oh, I don't know that their hygiene is going to be so good for my unit. So that's just an extra tip that I'm throwing out there. Back to the application. So employment information, automobile, an emergency contact is number 3. We've had to use this, unfortunately, a few times because, first of all, somebody might skip out and you don't know if they're there or not there. You can call an emergency contact and kind of confirm and be able to document that person skipped states. They're now in Tennessee. Okay. Or if somebody passes away, which unfortunately has happened a couple times, and we can provide that information to the police so that they can get in touch with the next of kin and start that process. Also, if you find out they passed away at a hospital, then you have somebody that you can contact to get that apartment, give them some time to get things moving, and just work together to get the apartment back so that you can rent it out. Number 4 is information about whether or not they have an emotional support animal or a service animal, because you have to accept those, and there is some paperwork or documentation they have to provide you for the emotional support animals, and you can check out one of my other videos on YouTube about that. Then the number 5 would be anything about pets. If they just have, a golden retriever that they want to bring with them, we want to have that information obviously on file. Number 6 is a request from any previous places that they've lived. Now this one is interesting. If you're in a small town, you know the other landladies and landlords, you can certainly call them up and say, hey, how was this person as a landlady or as a tenant. I have found especially when I was first starting out, I had a few unscrupulous types that would tell me that this person was great, they're fantastic. Well, they're trying to get them out and unload them fast, thinking great, they'll go move into her apartment, they'll get out of my apartment, and where they haven't been paying. So I take those with a grain of salt sometimes. So be careful on that, but it can be helpful. You might want to go back to previous tenancies to see and get a good feel for how they are as a tenant in terms of a reference. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words here, but you do want to have that information so that you can do that. You will also probably have a section about credit references. Do they have some bank accounts, that type of thing. This is all important if you are going to have to go to small claims court later and garnish any money. You do want to have some information about if they have a bank account and where that is and those types of things. Then we have a section of yes and no questions, like have you ever willfully refused to pay rent? Have you ever been evicted? Are you a registered sex offender? Do you have to register as a sex offender? Have you had any criminal activity? And it gives them a chance to tell us about it right there. Because again, if that person lies and says, oh, I'm not a sex offender, then they move in and then suddenly all the neighbors are getting these cards saying, yes, they are, and they have to register, and everybody's in a big panic and upheaval. You can go back and say, you lied on your application, you need to move immediately, because that is perjury. They can't lie on an application. That is, you do have some information you can discuss with your attorney and try to get that person out fast, because that's a no-go. They willfully lied on your documentation. And then the last section is a permission where they sign a disclosure stating that they are allowing us to do a background check. And we always take in an application fee. Ours is $30. I know a lot of people who $50, $100. Now, we do the application fee is for every adult over 18 that's going to live in that unit, because I'm running a background check on all, say there's 4 adults over 18. All 4 of them are going to have that background check run, looking for any criminal activity, drug activity, evictions on file. Those are the things that concern me the most, that I'm going to be looking for. So that's something that you probably want to do. And there's lots of resources on the internet. Turbo Tenant, I use Appfolio, MrLandlord.com, his site, he has a good place where you can pay $10, I believe, and get a background check. So you want to collect that money from them. You have some administrative times and fees doing that, and then you can pay for that national background check. Now, I also caution you to look at your local docket, look at your clerk of courts, make sure there's not eviction going on right now, because there are some tenants that know I'm being evicted. They can hurry up. They hadn't been evicted before. It won't show up on a background check, but they can try to slide in someplace real quick. Of course, they've lied on their application, but they think they're just going to slide in there. Just do that little search, clerk of courts. Oh, there's their name. They're being evicted right now. They're a no-go. So that's just another little free resource that you can use for that. Now, again, if you don't have a good rental application, use those tips and type one up right now, because you need to have all that information at your disposal. It's only setting your unit and yourself up for success in that tenant, because you're verifying and you're making sure that they're getting put into a unit that they can handle. So that's my tips and tricks for the day. Again, we're all in this together, so it's not easy being a landlady or landlord. Check out my website, and I do have a book for sale, and hit subscribe so we can keep on this journey together. Thank you, and have a great day.